Welcome back. It's time for our G3 Series Summer Series. Thanks to 702 Communications. We're talking about great tech that can help make your summer experience that much more enjoyable. With us today again, I don't know what you do.
Another gorgeous day, Chris. Another gorgeous day.
The CEO of 702 Communications, Brian Cromit. What do you have for us today, my friend?
Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about biking, because one of my favorite things to do during the summer is hop on the bicycle and use the bike paths here in Fargo-Moorhead, because we got a great system of them here in town. But there is some tech that I like to use when I'm biking just to push myself a little bit more. So I want to talk first about a very non-techy thing, but it has a phone case to it, so that ties in. But I use the QuadLock bike mount. And so the QuadLock is just this little mount that goes on your crossbar, on your handlebar, and then it's got just two little rubber bands to wrap it around, secures this mount then to your bike, and then this case has a special system back there that this just locks into, and so this just sits on your bike then, and you can listen to music or use one of the apps I'm going to talk about next to track what you're doing.
So does this work well even if I'm going a little bit off-road and stuff? Am I
Oh,
good,
absolutely.
Or?
This is going to hold really tight. You can't, it's not going to pop off of there. It's spring loaded, so you have to pull the spring and twist it to get this back out again.
That's fantastic.
So that's great. QuadLock, absolutely. I recommend that 100%. But as far as apps then, I've been using CycleMeter for a couple years. CycleMeter is awesome because it'll track a bunch of stuff for you. It'll track your routes, and then when you're done with a route, if you've gone out exploring on your bike, you found a good path and you decide you want to ride that again, you can import that map or export that map, duplicate it, and say, I'm going to compete against myself next time I do that. And so it'll bring up that map again. It'll show your worst time on that map, your median time, your best time, and as you're biking, it's going to announce you're 3 seconds ahead of your worst, or
so it's better
10
than
seconds ahead.
because I'm actually outside, right?
You're out. Yeah. You're outside. You got the wind in your hair. You got the sun. You got other bikers. You get some interaction, but you still got something that's tracking your progress and maybe pushing you that little bit more.
And the one you just mentioned is strictly for Apple. There's
CycleMeter is strictly for Apple. Android users have probably heard of Strava. Strava's been in the news. They've been around for a while. They're the ones that have the heat map, so you can share your tracks and your heat map with friends, so everybody can see where you're running and the more popular places to run and stuff. But I don't know if you remember, they were talking about how if you don't watch your privacy settings, the troops were over in Afghanistan or something, and you could see where, even when they were
But the good news is I can control that, right? I can shut that off.
That's just another lesson in making sure you're controlling your privacy settings.
But essentially the same thing as the one you said before. I can do the maps.
Do the maps, compete, and you can compete against friends on that too. You can add friends on Strava and share your maps and compete against your friends.
Nice. You got another one you want to share?
Yeah, the last one I want to talk about, and actually I just discovered this, it's called ViewRanger. So this is going to be a great app if you want to load the bike up on the car or something and go to another area. You can bring up a local map then of all the bike paths right where you are. Nice. So you can, there
Is
again.
That like reviews and stuff, so I can see what's good and not? Or?
I don't know if it has reviews like that, honestly, because I didn't sign up for the premium. But like I say, you can get the detailed maps showing you exactly where the bike routes are. So you go to a new town and you want to find a new place to bike.
So not everybody's, an avid biker, but you said this morning, hey, Chris, I used to go out and do about 10 miles a day or an hour a day. So what are some good trails locally that you would suggest people check out?
Really, if you've never looked at it, you can just pull up if you don't want to use the ViewRanger app here, you can go online and look for bike trails in Fargo, North Dakota, and you'll see a pretty extensive system here in town. I live in North Fargo, and I can hop on the bike path about 6 blocks from my house, come all the way down here to Lindenwood. If I want to go across into Gooseberry and then back up through Moorhead, I can do that, almost all of that on bike paths. So really, if you haven't looked, just go out and pull up the website, find the bike paths near you, and hop on and go exploring.
And for those people that maybe aren't as avid biker as you talk about a lot of tech up on your YouTube channel.
I do.
How can people get that? What can they see there?
We do all sorts of stuff on the YouTube channel. We talk about gaming, we talk about gadgets, we talk about cooking, we talk about all sorts of things. So if biking's not your thing, go on to YouTube, search for 702 Communications, and you can find some pretty cool other tech reviews.
Great stuff against our G3 Series. Thanks to 702 Communications. Check him out on YouTube. And you got to just hang out with this guy because clearly he's got the magic touch when it comes to the weather. I'm blown away every time we're out here.
Happy to do it.
It's absolutely just immaculate. So thank you again for being here.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it. Stay with us. We got much more coming up right here on North Dakota Today.